investigating beliefs about learning styles. So with this study, we're looking at the learning style myth, which is the unsubstantiated belief that people learn best through a certain modality or a certain learning style, which is often related to a bodily sense. So for example, in our methods, we used hands-on and visual learning styles corresponding to touch and sight, um, respectively. And this belief is endorsed by a lot of students and also a lot of educators. In this experiment, we collected data from 55 children and 97 adults, parents specifically, and we wanted to look at how information about learning styles, so the learning style of a hypothetical student would influence their attributions of intelligence and athleticism. And smart and sporty were the operative terms we used for intelligence and athleticism, and the children were 6 to 12 years old. So for methods, we had a sort of slideshow to tell a bit of a story and provide some visual stimuli. So it started by saying, look, here's a teacher in a class full of students. And we had 4 different conditions to avoid ordering effects. So you would then get one of the 2 learning styles first. So for example, it would say, this student learns best using their hands. They learn best when they can touch and feel things with their hands. And that would be the hands-on learning style. So it would then ask about either smartness or sportiness first, depending on the order of the condition. So it would say, how smart is this student? Is the student smart or not smart? And if they say smart, then it'll go on to the next one, which has these 3 bubbles, and it would be, is the student sort of smart, smart, or very smart? And this is so we have a 4-point scale to quantify their answers. So if they said not smart, that would be 0. If they said sort of smart, that would be 1. If they said smart, that would be 2. If they said very smart, that would be 3. So same thing would apply to sporty. And then it would go on to the next condition or the next learning style. So it would say the student learns best using their eyes. The student learns best when they can look at and see things with their eyes. It'll ask about smart and sportiness again. Yeah. So that's how we got these results shown in the bar graph here. So the scores represent the mean differences between the 2 learning styles, and lower scores actually mean higher ratings for visual learners. So for example, with the children's smart mean difference, they pretty overwhelmingly thought that visual learners were smarter than hands-on learners, or thought hands-on learners were less smart than visual learners. And this effect showed in parents as well, to a slightly lesser extent, but still a considerable extent. And we think this might be because of the way things are taught in school. You don't often learn things using touch in school. You're often reading or looking at a whiteboard or stuff. So under the assumption that learning styles are real, it would make sense that they think someone with a visual learning style would excel more in school, would learn more, and would just overall be more intelligent. What was interesting is that the sportiness scores, because the children didn't show much of an effect here at all. They very slightly thought that hands-on learners were more sporty or more athletic. Parents overwhelmingly thought that hands-on learners were more athletic. And this shows that an association between athleticism and hands-on learning isn't formed until a later age than 6 to 12 years old. As for implications of this research, is important because, like I said earlier, learning styles are endorsed by a lot of the population. So understanding beliefs about them will help, education in general. How do you teach children especially, but also it has big implications for self-efficacy, because, for example, if someone identifies themselves as a hands-on learner or has been identified as a hands-on learner, and they believe that visual learners are more intelligent, that would impact how they view their own intelligence, and that would have consequences for their whole academic career. So thank you.